And so welcome back to another one, you guys. If you're new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Toyota in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So today we are in the brand new 2024 Toyota Camry Hybrid because this one is capable of 50 plus MPGs. That is nuts. You got the legendary reliability. You also get 2 years or 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance as well. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so as you can imagine, there are several different trim levels for the 2024 Camry Hybrid. First one being the LE, starting at $28,855, SE for $30,390, SE Nightshade for $31,390, XLE for $33,745, and lastly the XSE, which is the one we're in today, going for $34,295. But regardless of trim level that you go with, the power plant is going to be the same on the Camry Hybrid. Powering the beast is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with an electric motor, putting out a combined 208 horsepower, 163 pound-feet of torque. That power being sent to the front wheels through an eCVT. 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 7.4 seconds. MPG numbers are going to differ a little bit depending upon the trim level that you go with. So 51 in the city, 53 in the highway for the LE, but all other trim levels are going to give you 44 in the city, 47 on the highway, taking regular unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in the Camry Hybrid, wanted to mention to you guys the drive modes. Of course, there's some buttons located directly behind the shifter. Drive modes will include Eco, Normal, Sport, and EV, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, and the steering sensitivity. So now having got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the acceleration here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2024 Toyota Camry Hybrid here up to speed. All right, you guys, so before we do this acceleration test, I did want to first mention there are paddle shifters as well, and there is a full manual shift mode if you slide the shifter all the way to the back and to the left. So we are going to test out these paddle shifters while we actually do the acceleration to kind of see how quickly the paddle shifters are going to react for us. So having said that, I do have it in sport driving mode here in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it's a CVT. Duh. All right, so it doesn't really feel like you're shifting through anything, unfortunately, because, you know, it's paddle shifters and this is a CVT. So anyways, it definitely feels like a CVT. As far as acceleration goes, there was a nice little initial bump of power thanks to the electric motor on the Camry Hybrid, but other than that, it's not the quickest thing in the world. It'll certainly get the job done, though. You're not going to have any issues emerging onto the highway. So I do like that initial punch with the Camry Hybrid without a doubt. But to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 12-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 11-inch solid rear disc. As far as that 60-0 stopping distance goes, that comes in at 128 feet, which is pretty average for the segment. But as far as braking feel goes, since there is nobody behind us right now, it's actually a very firm braking feel. I like it. We came to a pretty harsh stop there. I really like that. So didn't know what to expect with a Camry Hybrid, because sometimes with hybrids you get these weird spongy braking feels, but with the Camry it actually feels pretty nice. So definitely brings you to an instant stop. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an independent McPherson strut front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. But with the SE trim levels, you're also going to get sport tuned shock absorbers and springs as well, which is pretty cool. So overall, as far as ride quality goes, it's been perfectly fine on my short little test drive here today. I haven't had any issues. It's pretty much what you would expect the Camry to ride like. It's absorbing the road imperfections pretty nicely, so I actually like it. As far as steering feel goes, I'm in eco driving, man. Let me put it back in sport for a split second. It is a noticeable difference. It's a much heavier steering feel in that sport driving mode, so I guess you could say the Camry Hybrid is something for everybody, because in terms of steering feel goes, so it's a much heavier feel in the sport, much loosey-goosey steering feel in the eco driving mode. As far as cabin noise goes, I got my jacket rattling against the door right here for some reason, but other than that, it's not doing too bad. You get a little bit of engine noise when you really get on it, but other than that, it's a pretty serene cabin for what the Camry is. And there is an acoustic laminated front windshield, by the way, that comes standard for all trim levels across the board, so that's definitely going to assist with lack of cabin noise as well, so I do like that. As far as visibility goes, looking at my rear view mirror, I can see perfectly fine out the back. I've never had any issues with rear visibility in the camera, so that's 100% on point. But in addition addition to that, there is actually a head-up display available as an option for only the XLE Hybrid. So that's going to project your speed limit, and safety features up onto your windshield. Of course, we don't have it with us here today, but it is available if you really wanted it. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2024 Toyota Camry Hybrid. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2024 Toyota Camry Hybrid, finished in midnight black metallic, in case you were curious of the exact exterior color name that we had on this one here today. As always, let's go ahead and start with where the Camry Hybrid is made. Taking a look at the VIN, first character is the number 4, indicating that the Camry Hybrid is built and assembled here in the US. But let's now go ahead and start up front. You will find either a gray, a black, or a dark gray front grille, depending upon the trim level that you go with. So lots of different options there. That's pretty cool. Of course, you got the blue highlighting on the Toyota logo, signifying that this is the hybrid version of the Camry. To the sides, bi-LED headlights with LED daytime running lights do come standard. You get the automatic feature with them. You also get the automatic high beams. So if you have your high beams on at night, in the sense of the vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up to high beams for you there. So a very convenient feature there. You are going to find a more aggressive front grille if you were to go with the SE trims, or the, you know, the XSE that we have today as well, comparatively speaking to the LE trim level. So a little more sportier looks, I guess you could say, for our XSE, and also clear or dark headlight housings dependent upon those two as well. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the front end of the Camry Hybrid. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, chrome window surrounds do come standard. You will find body colored power adjustable side mirrors. They will be heated on the SE trim level and up, and you will get integrated turn signals as well for that SE trim level and up. Then taking a look down at the wheel setup, you have 5 different configurations for 5 different trim levels. So the wheels are all going to be different. It's kind of interesting. So 16-inch steel wheels with covers for the LE, 18-inch black machine finished alloys for the SE trim, 19-inch TRD bronze alloys for the SE Nightshade. You gotta love those. 18-inch dark gray machine finished alloys for the XLE, and lastly 19-inch gloss black alloys for our XSE trim level that we have with us here today. So that's kind of interesting how they went with a different wheel configuration for every single trim level. But nonetheless, that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of the Camry, all the way to the top, you will find a body colored shark fin antenna. Just below that, you actually will find a rear spoiler for the SE trim level. So our XSE is going to get one. So it's pretty cool. Once again, you got the blue highlighting on the Toyota logo since this is a hybrid. If you weren't completely sure from that, you got the hybrid badging found on the rear trunk there as well. LED taillights though do come standard for all trim levels across the board, so you gotta love that. Then make our way all the way down to the bottom here. You will find a single exhaust outlet for all trims, but if you go with the SE trims, you're gonna get those dual chrome tips like we have today. So having said that, this is a hybrid. We're still gonna give it a shot though. As always, here is that exhaust clip. All right, so now since we are around to the back of the Camry Hybrid here, when it comes to opening that rear trunk, there is a button on the key fob. There is a button on the trunk then itself as well. Once opened up though, cargo capacity comes in at 15.1 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there is a 60-40 split, meaning the rear seats do fold down for quite a bit of extra space then if you needed it. But I always love seeing the grocery bag hooks in Camrys because that's more of an SUV feature. You usually don't find it on sedans, but they are back there, so that's pretty cool. Got some cargo net attachments back there. There are LED cargo lighting. That's an available option for a whopping 25 bucks. So if you wanted some LEDs in the cargo area, that's available to you. Then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you are going to find a spare tire, which I always love to see. So then making our way to the rear legroom, that comes in at 38 inches even. For reference, I'm even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I have back there. Rear center armrest with cup holders does come standard. You're going to find some front seat back mat pockets as well. Rear ventilation, also found that back there, so always big fan of that. And as far as charging ports go, none of those. I didn't find any of those, unfortunately. I think they should probably add them because I know the Sonata and the Kia K5 have those. But anyways, then make our way up to the front seats. 8-way power driver seat with power lumbar for all trim levels. Fabric seating for the LE, Softex upholstery for the SE trims. Full leather seating though for the XLE and XSE trim levels, and then heated front seats for those two as well, the XLE and the XSE. Overall, as far as seat comfort goes, it was plenty fine, so no issues there. Not like Lexus F Sport good, but it's certainly comfortable for me. I didn't have any issues. But then take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping, and it's going to be leather wrapped for the SE trim level and up, and then heated steering wheel is going to actually be optional for all trim levels. We do have that option, so I like the heated steering wheel that we have on this one here today. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key here. You got your Toyota Camry lettering on the one side. When you flip it over, lock, unlock, and of course that button to pop the rear trunk. But it is all keyless entry with a bright blue push button start. That's pretty cool. So I'm just going to put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just to the left of the air vents there. So once started up, when it comes to the gauge cluster, you're going to have all your eco indicators found all the way to your left, speedometers on your right, and there's a fairly large digital screen front and center. You do have steering wheel mounted controls on the left side to control what is on there. So plenty of stuff you could check out though, including the time of day, your drive modes, of course, outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty. There's your radio information, safety features, pretty much everything you could possibly want up there, more or less. But now let's go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. A power moonroof is going to be optional for all trim levels. We got that option, so absolutely love that. That's pretty cool. Home mode control also going to be optional for all trim levels. We also have that option. That's for up to 3 different garage doors found in the rear view mirror there. Looks like they did away with the overhead sunglass holder that I remember seeing at least on the non-hybrid trim level, so that's kind of interesting. I don't see that up there. But anyways, dual zone climate control does come standard for all trim levels across the board. Wireless phone charger for the XLE and XSE trim levels. Ambient interior lighting as well. And I do love this kind of carbon fiber look, although it's just plastic found just above the passenger side glove box. It's a pretty cool look to it. I like how this kind of chrome door handle, this chrome plastic door handle, continues on across the door as well. That looks pretty good. Just beside the shifter, you do have a couple cup holders, of course. Heated seat buttons are right behind that within the center armrest. It's actually a decent amount of storage in there, more so than you're used to seeing in cars. And you got a couple USB charging ports in there as well, so that's pretty nice. So overall, it'll certainly get the job done here. And the elbow rest during my drive was plenty fine as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the infotainment screen here. There's a couple of them. 7-inch color touchscreen display is going to come standard on all trim levels but the XLE and XSE, essentially, because those two trims are going to give you what you're looking at, which is a 9-inch color touchscreen display. Either way, you still get Bluetooth and audio streaming. You still get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Factory navigation system is going to be optional for the XLE and XSE trim levels. You could check out your driving statistics up there as well. And since I probably didn't say it yet, by the way, I managed 47 miles per gallon in my short little test drive here today. So the EPA numbers for this trim level were right on point. But also you could check out your radio information up there as well. And so when it comes to the sound system, there is one of them. It is a 6-speaker sound system coming standard for all trim levels across the board. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. I gotta be honest, one of the better 6-speaker sound systems that I typically am used to hearing. There was a decent amount of bass in that. Clarity was actually perfectly fine for 6 speakers as well. So for me, I don't have any issues with that sound system. Of course, there are better ones out there, but that's pretty darn good for a 6-speaker sound system. But last thing I want to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen, at least, is when you do put the Camry Hybrid in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. Not the highest quality camera out there, but it'll certainly get the job done. And that, as always, is going to lead us into safety. And so IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. What did you start by saying that? Because that's the very highest designation given by IIHS. That pretty much says it all right there. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. Driver and passenger knee airbags as well. You also get rear seat side impact airbags. That's like a $700 or $800 option with BMW and Mercedes, I know. Also in the back, you got latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus. That gives you a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, road sign assist, and dynamic radar cruise control. Then if you were to go with the XLE or XSE trims, you're also going to get a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the Camry, incredible reliability. That has been known for quite a while, and that does include the hybrid vehicles. I remember reading an article not too long ago about a Highlander hybrid that went over 1 million miles somewhere in Florida near the Everglades. So that is incredible, the fact that hybrids can hold up that long. So gotta love that. Excellent safety as well. Like I said, you can't beat an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, so that says it all right there. You get brilliant miles per gallon. I managed 47. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow Younger Toyota on social media at the bottom of the screen. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews and all of our fun YouTube shorts we put on our channel as well. We do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and we will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.